Hello and welcome to another episode of Guitar Rescue. It's not really a rescue, it's an upgrade. Today I did a complete video on how I built this Danacaster. This is now my go-to guitar. This is my favorite guitar. And it has a humbucker in it and a tele pickup, a normal three-way switch, and it sounds really, really good. But you know, I can't leave well enough alone. So I've ordered a 4-wire humbucker pickup, kind of a low impedance, I think it's like 7 is the ohms, you know, not a ton. And I'm going to do a coil split, so that's what we're going to do today. So the pickup hasn't got here yet, but I'm going to show you a quick video of. I started to take this apart, and you'll see that there's an orange drop capacitor going to be right in my way where I want to install my little on and off switch for my coil split. So I have a separate plate here. So we're going to line it all up. We're going to measure it. I'm going to attach this plate to a piece of scrap wood that I have. I'm going to screw it down so it doesn't go anywhere. And I'm going to drill a hole in it the size of my little switch that I want to install. I bought a set of them and I ended up using one I already have. I like this one better. It's really teeny. And I believe it's just an on-off, where the other one I bought was an on-off-on. It doesn't really matter, I don't think, but anyway, I'm going to use this switch. And so I'm going to drill a hole in here so that the switch can be installed. Then the switch is going to come right down between the two pots, but it's going to be right where that orange drop is. So I believe I'm going to have to drop the orange drop down below where my switch fits. So that's what this video is all about. Stick around and we're going to show you. I'll show you real quick what I'm talking about with that orange drop. Hang on. Okay, so we're back. So I took the switch plate and I attached it to a spare board that I had just laying around, and I screwed it down. But before I did that, I actually measured. I put a piece of masking tape on the plate. I put it here. I put the volume control and the tone control through the holes, and then I measured where the middle of it, the opening was, and I marked it on the masking tape. Then I screwed it to that board, and I punched with a sharp punch the hole, you know, where I'm going to drill a hole. Then I got out the drills, and I probably used at least 4 or 5 different drills, small ones, building up, because this is very hard steel. And if you didn't have it screwed to a piece of wood, it would be twisting and turning all over the place. So that holds it nice and flat, and you can drill it nice and straight. And the last teeny weeny bit, I actually just got out a reamer, and I reamed the last little bit. And so I put the switch in here. I'm going to put some different washer configurations in to get the level I want, but now I can see how it fits over here and where the orange drop is, and I'm going to have to drop the orange drop. So that's going to be the next thing. I don't know if I can use the same one, or I'll probably have to buy another one that has some long stems on it so I can put it underneath the switch, so that it doesn't get in the way of my wiring and stuff that I'm going to do. But I got to wait till I get the part so that I can figure out how I want to do the wiring. I ended up using my original switch plate, but I have a brand new one. If I want to go back to where I'm at, that's why I bought extra parts. So I can just put it back together the way I had it if I decide I want to do that. But right now I'm going for that split coil on the humbucker and trying to keep the volume all the same, which is the trick in these things. So humbuckers want to get louder than the telly pickups, you know, so you're trying to have it level. So when you switch from one pickup to another, the volumes don't go crazy. So that's the trick. And I'll be working on it, but we're going to wait till I get the parts in to get to the next step. But the switch is in here now. I just got to get it tight and set to the level I want it to. So we'll continue in a little bit. Okay, we're back for a second. Here's the back of the switch plate. I've installed the little on and off switch. And you can see I've moved my orange drop. I haven't connected it. I cut it off of one side and have it just laying there. But I believe that it will work if I can connect it back up with a little piece of metal, little steel strip, little steel wire to put it to ground. I think it will work like that, but I'm going to wait till I wire in the new humbucker pickup. So I still got the old one. The new one is going to look just like that. I like that Gretsch look, but I like the more like a Gibson kind of a sound. So we'll be back when we get the parts. Okay, we're back. The new parts are in. So I've got a new pickup and a new cover. I'm not going to solder the cover on yet till I've got it wired in and make sure that that's what I want to do. But it's going to look just like the old one that I took out. I've taken the strings off of the guitar and I've taken the pick guard loose so we can see, you know, this is the pick guard. It's still wired to the switches. At least I know which switch it's going to be wired to, which is right there. Okay. Soldering equipment. This is my least favorite thing on a guitar, is soldering all the electronics. And it's going to be a total experiment for more than one reason. When you're using humbuckers and single coils, they like different capacitors. They like different size pots. The humbuckers like 500 pots and say 0.22 022 capacitors, and single coils like 250 pots with 0.047 capacitors are the best thing. So you're trying to get it to sound good. So it's an experiment. So that's what we're going to do, and how we're going to wire it for the single coil versus humbucker, the split coil. So I'll get back in just a minute as I start doing some soldering and check it out. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back. We've been wrestling around with wires. You know, there's 4 wires on this humbucker, and you got to get the right combination. I looked at a bunch of different videos, and they had wires twisted together that turned out that's how they went. They were twisted together. The ground side is twisted with a wire, and then there's the middle that's twisted with a wire, and you attach those together. And then you got the outside, the main plug coming out of the main wire coming out of the humbucker. So at the moment, what we've got is when the humbucker is up here, we have all humbucker, no telly. If we flip this switch, we have half. This is a magnet working, but it's not coming out the speaker. Just the bottom half of this humbucker is working, so it's split. Okay. If I come down in the middle, we've got the humbucker and the telly. And when I come all the way down, just the telly. So I'll take it back out of here for a second, and I'm going to try to show you the finished product here. So So hang on, I'm going to show you the finished product, and my wife just got home, my dog's barking, so we'll be right back. Okay, so here's the back of the switch plate. Here's the volume control, tone control, switch plate. So coming out of this new pickup, you have a black wire that's going to your switch up here at the top. You have the green wire that came out of this along with a stripped wire. It's actually a fifth wire. You put together and you put it to a ground. Then there is a white wire and a red wire that is twisted together, and they go to my new switch that I just put in. And then I put a ground, I made up a wire from my switch to the ground so that when it's in one position, it's not grounded, you get the whole thing, okay? You get the whole humbucker. When it flips to another switch, you ground out the upper part so that you're just getting the south poles, not the north poles. Okay, so that's how it all goes. Now I'm going to solder the pickup to the cover, or vice versa, and then we're going to start reassembling it. So we'll be back again. Okay, here's just a couple of dots of solder on the back of the pickup inside the cover here to hold it in, so when you're adjusting it, the pickup doesn't drop down. So I just ground that down a little bit with my Dremel. It's hard to sand those down, so I grinded it a little bit so we get a surface to put the solder on. Okay, now it goes back in the pickguard, back on the guitar. Then I'm going to put a set of 8s on here, super slinky strings, and then we're going to try it out and see what it sounds like. We'll be back. It's back together. That's the full humbucker sound with some volume, obviously. It's been a minute since I've been gone because I had to order a new capacitor for it. I didn't like what it was doing before, so now I got a 0.47 in here, and I'm pretty much liking everything about it. I didn't think I could make this guitar any better, but I think I did. Okay, so we have a full humbucker, as you can hear. We have a split humbucker. We have a middle position where now it's on a split and a telly. Now it's a full humbucker and a telly. And now it's a telly. The volumes aren't too bad. They're pretty close. I had to do some adjustments. I dropped the humbucker down pretty low, and I raised up the telly pickup as high as close as I could get it to the string, so it's stronger. It's pretty balanced, but you know, you're running on two totally different kinds of pickups here. You know, a humbucker and a single coil. Okay, so that's it. I've been gone a while. It's been really busy, but we got it all done. We put a 0.047 capacitor in there. We adjusted the pickup levels to get it as even as we could. I'm loving the sound of it. I just want to play it for a while, get used to it. Get used to all the different sounds. Volume's pretty even there. It's pretty twangy. When you want to get to the telly thing. It can be pretty twangy, or it can be really humbucky. So it's got the humbucker and the telly. I'm loving it. See you in the next video.